Welcome back, guys. This is going to be part 5 of the build along. We have been working to get this knife to this point. This knife started off as a chunk of steel, and it is now almost a completed blade. So on the last video, we put the maker's mark on it, which is covered up. I glued up the handle scales, and now it's time to clean all this up. So basically what I have to do is take this to the grinder, get this to the steel. So I'm going to grind this down to the steel with the grinder and my Dremel tool. And once I get the scales even with the, the tang of the blade, then it's the fun part, because I do all of that basically by hand. I could use the machine, but the machine removes too much material, sometimes too fast and unevenly, and I like to keep everything nice and even. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that by hand, which I will definitely be time-lapsing for you guys. If you haven't checked out the channel, please subscribe. And go check out the other build-alongs. Like I said, this is going to be part 5, so you've missed out on a lot. So please go back to part 1. Watch through, and let me know. Leave me a comment. What do you think this is? How do you think this is going? Do you like the colors? I mean, you guys chose the purple. I chose the orange. I think it's going to look cool. I plan on doing an orange sheath and probably an orange lanyard. So we'll be doing that, but that's going to be in future videos. We'll see how long this video goes and how much I can get done, but we got to take it out and start removing some more material. All right, guys. All right, guys, here we are at the grinder. I'm just gonna grind down these pins and then start working on flattening all this out. So we'll do that. All right. See you, catch you in a bit. All right, guys, so at this point, I got it flush with the shape of the blade. So it's nice and flush there. And now it's all hand. So everything else with the shaping of the handle, making it smooth, and the hand, everything I do by hand. So I'll just be taking sandpaper and smoothing all this out slowly but surely. I don't know if I'm going to time-lapse that. I might skip over some of it, but I'll time-lapse just a little bit so you get an idea of everything that I do. But it's all done by hand. All right, guys, so here we are. Got some hand sanding done, did a little polishing on the blade. Still have a little bit of cleanup to do. It's definitely far from being done, but good choice on the handle. Looks pretty good. Nice, smooth, shaped really smooth. Very comfortable in my hand. That's the most important thing to me. Is a knife, but if it's not comfortable to use, then you won't want to use it. So that just melts in my hand. It's a 3-finger grip, which we knew it was small, which is fine. With a knife this big, what are you cutting where you need to have a full 4-finger grip? So 3 fingers. I'm going to add a lanyard onto it at the very end, so you'll get something for your pinky. But here we are. The handle is nicely shaped. That orange looking pretty good. There's just a little bit of cleanup I need to do, smooth out, chamfer the top of the blade a little bit, do a little work right in here. No more, I don't want any hot spots on your finger when you're holding the knife or on your thumb when you're up here. I want that to be nice and smooth. I personally don't like the grooves on the top. One day I'll do it, but I don't have a checker file. Once I have a checker file, then I would like to do it because I want to have nice small ones, not the real big, I guess, the grooves for your thumb. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. But, so here it is so far. I'm just going to do a little bit more cleanup on this, and then guess what? You guys, as a community on Instagram and on YouTube, said you wanted this acid etched. So once I get this all cleaned up where I like it, I might do a little bit more hand sanding, but the blade is pretty good. I like where the blade is at, but I want to clean up a little dings and over here. I don't know how that happened. And then I'm going to acid etch it. So I'll show you that, and then we're going to stone wash it. I'm going to try to protect the handle a little bit, but you might ask, why don't you acid etch it before you put the handles on? Well, because you're going to scratch it, and then you're going to end up having to acid etch it again. And it's very difficult to protect the spine and down here when you got to glue it on. So you have to acid etch after it's all glued up. So anyway, I hope you like it. Let's go figure, let me clean this up and then we'll move on to acid etching. All right, so it just occurred to me that before we acid etch anything, I have to do something else. Before I acid etch, I have to do the sheath. The reason for that is I have to tape up this blade again. And I noticed that once you acid etch something and stone wash it, and then you put tape on it, it will remove some of or it'll mark up the acid etch a little bit. So we're gonna do the sheath first. And I'm not gonna do step-by-step process on how I do the sheath because I've already created another video. So please go check out that other video. It's a step-by-step on how I do a Kydex sheath. The knife I used was a skeletonized model, so it's just going to be a little bit different that this one has scales. But I'm not going to go into super detail on how I do it. Basically, what I need to do is I'm going to use this orange Kydex. It's going to play really well with our orange color palette that we have going on with the liners. So I'm going to do the orange. So what I have to do is lay this out. Sorry. I've noticed that going back and watching these videos, I need to keep an eye on the camera and not what I'm doing because I'm going off camera a lot. So basically what I have to do is cut out this Kydex to the size that I need. Then I'll thermoform it. And once I do that, then I should be good to start the acid etch and the stone wash process on this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going. I'm going to cut it out, come back to you guys, heat it up, throw it in the press, which, if, like I said, it would be best to go back and watch that video if you really want the step-by-step process on how to do it. I'll show you guys a little bit, but I'm not going to go through it step by step because I've already created a whole video on how to do it. But let's get this sheath going, and then we can get to the fun acid etching and stone washing. All right, guys, so I got it in the press. It's got to sit in there and cool off. I'm going to take care of a bunch of other things that I have going on. I also have to finish the handles on those other two knives, that other pedal and the mini Obsession. So I got to go do those while this is cooling off. I was thinking, it's going to be an orange sheath, No, there's no question about that. So I use these soft belt loops for the sheaths. What do you think of the orange? Should I do the orange or should I do black? Let me know in the comments, because these can be switched out no matter what. But it's gonna get either the orange and black soft belt loops, and it's gonna get the black rivet eyelets. I have my press, I'm gonna press them on. I have to take the sheath out. Once this is done, I gotta shape it, drill the holes for the eyelets, and just give final shaping and fit and finish and make sure that it's fitting nicely. But then once that sheath is completely done, then we can do the acid etching. Because I'm also gonna, so I just got this stuff, and basically this blues the knife and it almost does like an acid etch feel to it. So I'm gonna do this on the Mini Obsession just to see how it goes. I've seen how it's used. I really like that. So I'm gonna try this and then the stone wash on the Mini Obsession. So I'll let you guys know. All right guys, pulled everything off. Let's open it up. Yeah, that came out really nice. So really, next step, I have to mark and drill the holes for the eyelets, cut the excess material off, and then just try to shape it a little bit. I usually use the Dremel tool for that, and a little bit of the grinder, just a really like 220 to 400 grit belt, just to smooth out that kydex, and then I'll bring it to my polishing wheel and polish up just the edges. But basically I'm gonna get it all set up. It looks like it's gonna have nice retention on it. Like I said in the other video, my retention points are the back of the blade right here, and right here, when a knife has scales, right back here. So I want to make sure those points are nice and tight, which they look like they are right off the bat. Sometimes when I remove material, sometimes I have to go back and pinch that a little bit, but it looks like we're pretty good. So I'm just going to be careful when removing this material. I'm going to put a little thumb thing in there. I like to put a little place to push your thumb, and then this will be ready to go. So I'm going to go work on those things and meet you back here when the kydex is done. Again, check out the other video if you really want to see all those processes. All right, well, there it is, one kydex sheath in orange. I think it looks amazing with that orange liner. Gonna look really, really cool. Got good connection. There's no play in it. It pops off. I got the nice finger groove in there. It looks good. Let me know if you want the orange or the black soft belt loop, or if you want to see them, I can show you. But so the sheath is now done. Got it nice and cleaned up. Been working on it this morning along with a bunch of other stuff. But so now that the sheath is done, we can acid etch this blade, stone wash it, and then basically we're almost done. Just final cleanup, put an edge on it, and this blade is almost done, guys. We are almost done with this project. The only thing I'm hesitant about is the stone wash, if it's gonna mess up the G10. I don't want it to mark it up too bad, so I might tape this. You know, this process is all about problem solving. What is the outcome? What obstacles you have in your way to overcome those so you can create something that you want. So it becomes what tools you can use or what processes you can do to try to make it easier. And that's where we are. So I'm going to acid etch it. We'll see what we'll go over there, acid etch. I'll explain that process, and then it will be stone wash once I pull it out of the acid etch, and I think I'm going to tape up the handle a little bit, but I still want the tang showing because I want some of that stone wash on the tang too. I'm not too worried about the pin and the tube because quite frankly when I acid etch it, it's not really going to do much to them. But well, we're almost done, guys. This project is almost done. All right, let's go check out this acid wash. I have these two containers here. One is the ferric chloride. So it's half ferric chloride, half distilled vinegar, or I'm sorry, apple cider vinegar. Sorry, apple cider vinegar. And then this is the baking soda solution that neutralizes the acid once it's done. So ferric chloride, apple cider vinegar, 50-50 roughly. It's probably about a 60-40 ferric chloride, so a little bit more than the vinegar. That's going to give me the best dark acid etch. I'm going to put it in for about 10 minutes at first. Take it out, wash it, dip it in the baking soda, which is going to neutralize any of the acids, and then we'll see what it looks like. I might do 2 baths depending on what it looks like. So I have the blade here wrapped up, ready to go. So I'm just going to dip it in. This is, you'll notice I'm going to put it in. Let's see, it's in. And within a couple seconds, I'll stir it up a little bit, even though I already did. Sorry about the lighting, but the best I can do right here. Already you're going to see probably on the blade, it's already starting to darken just within a couple seconds. So after about 10 minutes, we'll see what it looks like. So I'll let that soak in here and we'll come back, see what it looks like. All right, guys, it's been about 13, 14 minutes. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Yeah, look at that. Completely black blade. You can see where the heat treat kind of stopped, if that's natural. So the blade is nice and dark, which is cool. So I'm gonna wash it off. Let's put it in here. It's gonna fizz up a little bit. Get all that off, let it soak in there for a little bit. I'll wash it and then I'll update you if I feel like it needs another one or not. All right, guys, so I know when you saw this come out, it was really black, and that's what it's gonna look like when it first comes out. But once you take it out and start cleaning it up a little bit, I hit it with a little bit of steel wool, and it gave it that nice dark gray. It only needed the one soak, so I'm pretty impressed with that. So I taped up the handle. I decided to just tape it up, and I'm gonna stone wash it like this, even though I almost like the color the way that it is. But we're gonna stone wash it because I really like the way the stone wash comes out too. I also tried something new. So I tried a bluing solution, super blue, on this mini Obsession. First time using it. It keeps the steel nice and kind of shiny instead of flat, but it gives it that nice dark color, which I really, really like. It kind of gives it some blues. The camera's really washing it out. I'm trying to, let me see if I can get it on the wood, if that would look better. Yeah, maybe. But it's kind of hard for you guys to see it, but it kind of has some blues, and it really looks pretty cool. Maybe on my hand, I don't know, but it kind of has the dark look to it, but it still has a sheen to it instead of giving it the flat. So that looked pretty awesome. So I'm gonna throw that in the stone wash as well. So both of these are gonna go in my stone wash. We can go just do that now. And I think this is gonna be the last one though. So as soon as I put it in the stone wash, I'm gonna stone wash those for probably 15-20 minutes, and then I'll check back and see what they look like. But so let's go out and do that. No, you know what? I'll just cut another video when I'm over there because I got some things I gotta do. So anyway, so far that's where we're at. Looking pretty good. All right, guys, here we are. My little stone wash machine. So I'm gonna throw these in here, and I'm gonna put the lid on, turn that sucker on, and see what it looks like when we come back out. This one throws rocks all over the place, so I can't really do it with the lid on. So I'm gonna turn this sucker on here in a second. Makes a bunch of noise. It's really loud. So I'll tighten that down. Last time I used this, I came back and this screw had popped off. I don't know where it went. I had to go searching for it. So anyway, turn it on and nothing happened. So, oh, that's right. Guys, we'll see you next time. All right, guys, I got that in there. I know you probably, I don't know if you heard me or not, but I just want to close this video out, show you the sheath, and to tell you to check out, well, I already put it up on Instagram, and so far we're getting different responses, so I'm going to put it up here once I upload this video. Do you want the orange and orange sheath and the loop, or do you want the black with that Kydex? Remember, it's purple with the black and the orange, so I don't know if that orange is too much. I thought the oranges would be very similar, and this one is very bright. But anyway, if you don't check me out on Instagram, please check me out on Instagram, because I put up a survey of which color should go up there. So if you're following me, hopefully you've voted. If not, check it out. Maybe the next time something comes up, you can check that out. I also post pictures over there of ongoing things. So if you're following along with this video and you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen some updates as before I shoot. So I shoot these and then I collaborate them, put them all together, and then I post it on YouTube. But as we go, I always share little pictures as we go. Well, anyway, guys, hope to see you on the next one. The last one will be probably the last video, because after it's stone washed, I just do a little bit of cleanup on the blade. We dial in the sheath, we dial in everything, and then we sharpen. And then put a lanyard on, and we're done. So the next one shouldn't be that long. Let me know if you're interested in buying it. Yeah, that might be interesting. So anyway, reach out, please subscribe, shoot me a like, share it with somebody that might like it or not. Again, that choice is yours. See you on the next one, guys.